We can get the war champion is back in the building, and today I'm gonna do a good old challenge over here in Kingdom Rush Origins. I'm gonna pick this game up and see how this one goes. So let's get after it. And I'm gonna do a good old challenge over here. This one, I'm gonna try this one out, the Thunderbolt. One of my subscribers did request to see me do this, so I want to see what I got on here. So let's get after it, folklores. And this one's kind of tough to do. I went with Durax because he's just my guy, you know. He just makes this work. So, yeah, I was also seeing earlier that Frontiers was gonna make an update to the game. That's what I've been hearing, and that's what I've also seen. So it's kind of interesting. I've always expected them to actually do something like that. It's like, I don't know if I mean, I talked about it before, like, that's one of the first games I ever played. In fact, that was the first Kingdom Rush game I played, was Frontiers. I didn't play the Kingdom Rush game. When I first played it, I don't know if you guys back in the day, I played on Armor games back then. That's how I first came across Kingdom Rush, just the Kingdom Rush and Kingdom Rush Frontiers. So, like, Frontiers, you know, I found out that game that I was looking for, like, the top tower defense games to play, right? So Frontiers happened to be the highest rating game on Armor games for tower defense. It was rated at 9.8. So that's what got me interested. That's why I played it first before I played Kingdom Rush. And then, you know, when I turn on the game, I'm like, oh, yeah, I see that screen. I'm like, I see the little main screen they have. I'm like, okay. Then when I go to the map, I'm like, oh, no, this game can't be all that, because I'm looking at this map. This map looks like an old 13th century type of map, man. It looks like Christopher Columbus used it to sail around the world with or something, man. But I tell you what, man, I started playing that game, and then all of a sudden I was running into trouble stopping the enemies. And then, I mean, the design, you know, playing with the, you know, the animations were actually good and decent, which kind of kept me interested. But I kept, you know, the challenge of stopping those enemies, you know what I mean? It kind of brought the war champion spirit out of me, you know? So next thing you know, man, I started playing that game at like 11:30 p.m. By the way, I started playing the game since like 2017. I remember I started like at 11:30 when I played. Man, I was supposed to go run that afternoon, man. I ended up playing till like 6 p.m., man. That's how addictive the game was. That's how good it was. I mean, it wasn't a 9.8 for no reason. So it's like them making an update to the game. I'm hoping that they make a good decision. It's like, how do you have, they make a good decision with the update. It's like the game, it was a 9.8, like, make a good, like, update to the game. So my hope is that they're gonna add like extra elite stages. I mean, extra stages, which are gonna be elite stages. That's my hope. And I don't mean like a standalone stage like how they did with the Saurian level, right, where you had Sizzy just at one level. I'm hoping they add like 3 extra levels, because it's like, when you look at Kingdom Rush, right, you look at Vengeance, like they got 26 levels and you got 31 levels. It's like, why does Kingdom Rush Frontiers, and soon, hopefully, Origins will have an update too soon. I mean, I can't see why not, considering that Kingdom Rush and then Frontiers are going to have an update to it, you know, after 10 years. But, yeah, it only has 22 levels, so it's like, how does a 9.8 out of 10 game have only 22 levels, you know? So I'm hoping they make some extra stages to the game. And my guess is that when they do, I think, see, Vengeance, it didn't surprise me that they made, I kind of guessed that they would add some stages to like the earlier part of the game, because considering the fact that, you know, you had that boss, right? The first 6 levels, you had the Dwarf King's boss, right, which was Bolger the Throne, but he sort of like was a king of, that's the one thing they do in the Kingdom Rush games. When they make the boss is sort of like to fit a specific enemy or brethren. So like Bolger the Throne, he was more like a machinery type of boss. They didn't actually have like a dwarven boss, hence the reason why when they made the elite stages, you know, they had, I mean, the elite stages, even that boss itself, that T-Rex, he doesn't really represent the dwarves. He represents like the actual like dinosaurs, like those little velociraptors and pterodactyls, sort of. And in my opinion, if they ever make another update to Vengeance, it's gonna be like a survival mode where they actually have like the Knoll. I mean, I'm sorry, not the Knoll. They have like a dwarf type of war leader boss, kind of like, speaking of Knoll, kind of like how you have in Origins. you have like in Origins you have the survival campaign, right? I'm sorry, the survival mode where you have an actual no leader boss, right? He's like the king of the gnolls. Like, cause if you played the Origins, right, the first 6 levels, you had that high hyena. He was like supposed to be like the king of the hyenas, right? And then when they made the elite stages for the extra gnoll levels, you have Brahm the Beheader, but he was sort of like a king of like the ogres. You know, those ogre magis and blood ogres. So it's like if you equate that to like Kingdom Rush Frontiers, in my opinion, they're gonna add extra stages. Hopefully it'd be like 3 extra stages. That way you have more extra elite stages, right? But like the elite stages, I can see them adding it for like the sand dune levels, right? Because like the boss for like the sand dune levels, like when at Nazru's Gate, like Nazru didn't even represent any of those Doom Raiders and Immortals and Samurai. He doesn't even represent them like that. He's just a boss. He's just like Umbra. Like Umbra can summon that. He summons his little shade elements, but you didn't fight shade elementals throughout the duration of the Saurian levels, did you? You only fought him on that boss wave. The same thing with Nazru's Gate. You only fought him on the boss wave. Hence the reason why when they made the extra standalone stage for the Saurians, they made that stage Dark Light Depths, right? So like you have Sizzy. I mean, that makes sense. Sizzy is like a giant Myrmidon. He's like the king of the Saurians. Same thing when they made the beach stages, right? You got Leviathan. He's like similar to that red spine. He's like a huge red spine. And same thing with even the Shadow Moon levels, right? You got Vasily. He's like the king of the vampires. You actually face the vampiresses throughout the duration of the campaign. So it's like, why don't they just when they make this update, I'm hoping it's gonna be those extra levels, and you got like maybe a boss that sort of represents like one of those Dooms, you know, those Doom Raiders, or maybe an Immortal or a Sand Raider or something. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm kind of curious, but I'm hoping it's more levels. I can't see them making anything for like specifically making extra stages for the jungle level, because you already have a boss that kind of represents one of the brethren there, specifically the Gorillan. But it still would be, and plus they also have a standalone survival mode stage that, you know, you have that Reaper Lord that's like the king of the Reapers and Parasites. So it'd be kind of neat to see what they're gonna do with that. I mean, that's just my guess. That's my guess. I feel like that's going to be the update. Plus, it'd be kind of interesting to see if they add a new hero. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, I'd rather see an extra stage as opposed to like a new hero for me personally. You know, and when they add these extra stages, folks, I'm hoping they're gonna add like maybe like 6 or 7 elite stages, not like just 3. You know. But then again, because like when I think about elite stage, I think about like even in Origins, right? Like the game we're playing right now, Origins, you have those Dark Spitter levels, but it's like that one's kind of strange to me, because it's like that one, it's like, what's the backstory behind adding those 2 stages? Like, we understand why they added the extra Gnoll Reaver stages, and you can understand why they added those extra elf stages, because you have an elf boss specifically. But it's like the Dark Spitter levels, like, where did that come from? Like, that just came out. That was just straight pure raw creativity. They just had to come up with something unique, right? Because it's like there's no backstory behind it. So I don't know, folks. I'm glad that they are doing that. After 10 years, I'm glad they're doing it. It's kind of interesting to see what they're gonna do with that. I don't know, folks. I'm just thinking out loud. So I'll probably put it in the comment section, in the community section. You know, voice my opinion. But anyhow, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So this challenge, as you can see, it's I know I kind of ran it on like what they're gonna possibly add in the new stage. I mean, into the update for Frontiers. But getting back to this one's kind of, it's not that bad. As you can see, I haven't really paid attention to action. I've just been talking. What are they doing? Yeah, who cares, folks? You already know this stuff's out of the photo. I'm playing this, folks. You already know what I'm gonna do to this. Get all this out of the building. They got the Nolnars. I think this is just that way where they finally brought out that blood ogre, but it's not causing problems like that. Yeah, but if they do have to, going back to what I was talking about, if they do make a hero, like I'm kind of curious what kind of a hero they make. Like Tenchi, like that was kind of interesting to me. They made like a jack of all trades type of hero, like Tenchi. You know, he can, he's like, he knows how to transform into that invincible format, like Ingvar, stuns like Malik, lets the suckers fly from the sky. You know, he does true damage like Ignis. He's like a jack of all trades type hero. If they do make a new hero, it'd be real. I can't think of what kind of hero they make, but maybe a hero that kind of like, if they make like elite stages for like the sand dune type of levels, they make a hero that kind of like, he kind of like resonates well with that environment, you know, kind of like how they made in Vengeance like Grosh. He's supposed to be some extinct mammoth type of hero, which is kind of interesting, but you know, they had him on kind of like for the dinosaur levels, I guess. He kind of fit in for that, you know, considering him being an extinct hero, and then, you know, you got extinct dinosaurs. So I'm kind of curious if they do make a hero, what's that gonna be like. I can't see them really making any more survival mode stages. I doubt that. I don't see that happening, right? Because you already got 2 of them. One of them I have yet to place, that Reaper one. I haven't played that one, but I've just seen like other people do the survival mode on that stage, so I don't really know what to expect for that. But yeah, yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I know how it is. You just can't wait to see what they're gonna do. It's like it's funny how they make it to where it's like a 10-year. You gotta wait like 10 years before you get this one hero that's gonna be like that you get to play with. It's like, it just kind of gets to me how they wait 10 years. But then again, it's like a business plan. You know, they got to think about things from a business perspective, so there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I've been talking so much. We're already on the 14th wave. I think they're bringing the house with the hyenas and parathons, and then they got, I think it's 4 blood ogres or 3 blood ogres at the top, 20 null burn or something like that. Oh no, it's the 13th wave. It's not the 14th wave. We're not even done yet. They just brought the house with the blood ogres and the blood gnolls. Good. Yeah, I just as you can see, as you can see, I'm playing without that Thunderbolt and without the insta-killing, and I'm also playing without using the hero spell, just to make a good challenge. So yeah, I set up those 4. I had a lot of the forest keepers on one side, and then the like formed a good choke point over here with these what is it? Can't even think. The blade singers, you know, have the artillery there with those L's to hack from behind. I gotta hurry up because they got that blood ogre coming up over there on that top side, so I gotta pack him out because we got those no burners coming in the picture. But this stage, I do remember it. The only thing about this stage is kind of similar to Rotwick, the Iron stage. You start off with such low bounty. For it being an elite stage, it's just that kind of makes it to where it's kind of tough. You know, it takes you some time to get things going. Yeah, I think this is the rest of those hyenas. Yeah, that's the rest of the hyenas and blood gnolls. That should be it. All right, yeah, this last wave is pretty tough. It's kind of tough to stop. It's They're bringing the house on that top left side over there with those. They're bringing the combination of the hyenas and the parathons with the nonars, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot of work there. And then you got they got this blood ogre in the picture. You got all that to deal with. Good. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I had to get those. Yeah, so I had to set up that little archer, that arcane archer. That helps out with stopping that horde of enemies over there. There we go. Let's get over there, Durax. Oh, folks! Oh, we got trouble. Yeah, we got the blood nose. Yeah, slow them down. Yeah, oh, folks, I gotta start. Yeah, get that at the photo. Get that the photo. Get that the photo. The photo. Oh, the parathon. Yo, what's up? Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, that took me by scare, folks. There we go. Yeah, get rid of that. Those, yeah, good. Those blood nose over there. Yes, it's a little hectic because of that blood ogre's in the picture. Oh yeah, he's out of the photo. You get that out of the photo. There you go. Oh, good. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah, it's kind of tough to read this because it's hard to see it. There we go. That's all doomed. That's all doomed. And that's all doomed. Get rid of that. Beautiful. There it is. Yeah, folks. That was it. I mean, that wasn't that bad, but I mean, it was a little tricky at first, but nonetheless, it wasn't too bad. But I just wanted to do something to get my hands dirty with Origin. I haven't played in a while, but I eventually get around to doing some more different things, folks. Stay tuned for more vids. Ricky the War Champion. Farewell.